Welcome back, everyone, to Fat Tuesday in downtown Mobile, and we are rolling with our parades here, our afternoon parades, starting this year with the royalty of the Mobile Carnival Association. Again, as we mentioned, usually the Nights of Revelry begin the afternoon parades, but this year the royalty is first.
Yeah, so you are looking at some of the debutantes from last year. So they come back and parade on Fat Tuesday in a traditional Mardi Gras costume. And the ladies are not holding back. They sure are throwing a lot today. And this float is followed by the Knights of King Felix. It was a very big court this year, one of the biggest ever. And the Knights have been going strong, let's say, for the last 3 days.
Yes, they have. Of course, yesterday they arrived on the boat, as they always do, and took part in the floral parade. So they get to parade a couple of times, and they certainly enjoyed that. But on Fat Tuesday, the crowd is about twice of what we would have on Monday. So they're having a great time. A lot of them were at the Infant Mystic Ball last night, and they will be going strong throughout Fat Tuesday.
That's right. So once again, we saw Felix's maidens, and they have passed along with the Knights of King Felix. And now we are enjoying some of the marching bands.
And then we'll be seeing the king himself and the queen eventually here in this parade. Beautiful costumes that they have each and every year. They don't change a whole lot. A very traditional look for the Knights.
Yeah, so the second half of King Felix's Knights are rounding the corner right now. They're making sure that the king has everything he needs as he reigns over Carnival. Looks like they're sharing in all of the fun and merriment that King Felix has proclaimed.
Yeah, they had that castle rocking for sure. We've got the St. Luke's band as well here in this parade.
Yes, St. Luke's under the direction of Daniel Driscoll. The Wildcats making the St. Luke's Nation proud.
And then you'll see the royalty themselves coming down the street after that. You can see the crown. The king this year is William Edward Slayton Jr. He is King Felix III, arriving from the Isle of Joy, of course, yesterday. And he's accompanied by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth Wilburn Helmsing.
Yeah, so they have been ruling over the port city the last few days, spreading merriment throughout their path.
They've been having a great time. They've got some of the Navy members as well on their float.
Yes, the USS Donald Cook, of course, making a stop here in Mobile for a few days.
I had a chance last night to speak briefly with the king and queen at the IM ball. They were doing great. They were in great shape after a lot of fun already.
Yes.
And getting ready for today.
You know, really is a family affair. Many of their family members were kings and queens and ladies in waiting and knights. So it's finally their time to shine.
They have a number of the pages on the float with them. A lot of fun for those little guys for sure.
Yeah, so they also have Mardi Gras traditions in their family. For example, one of the pages, William Walsh, is my godson.
There you go.
Yes, and his father, William Druin Walsh, was the king back in the day. So it's so neat to see these traditions passed on from generation to generation.
Very nice. King currently lives in Richmond, So he'll have to head back home to a whole nother world here.
A whole nother.
Thursday.
It'll be Wednesday in Richmond. Of course, tomorrow is Ash Wednesday. I think a lot of people need a little.
Yeah, he said he's taking a day and then leaving bright and early Thursday morning to be back at work.
All right, we got the St. Luke's Band kicking in here to give us some more Mardi Gras music. It looks like the parade has stopped for just a moment. I mean, but these crowds, Peter, these might be some of the biggest crowds I've ever seen. And we're talking about 15, 20, 30 deep in some spots.
Yeah, here on Royal Street, we're looking back to the north, and yeah, it's about 20 deep here on the east side, west side. Probably another 10 deep there, so really another great crowd for Fat Tuesday.
Yes, and this is what these organizations want to see. They do it to have fun, but they do it for the crowds, for the families, for the young children. And so it's very rewarding for them to put in all the hard work that goes into putting on a parade, to have so many people come out. People in Mobile support these organizations and the amount of money that goes into being a part of one, and it's all, it's worth their while. It really is.
And so fortunate to have this great weather today as well. That's always so disappointing when you see some of the organizations that plan so long and then they have a bad day for their parade.
Yes.
But that's not the situation here today.
No, not at all. So I'm looking down Royal Street, and the Knights are full of energy.
And right behind this parade, by the way, the Knights of Revelry. Normally, they begin the afternoon parades, but again, they're celebrating 150 years today, and so they have an extra long parade, and so they shuffled up the order a little bit to get the royalty out in front of them.
That's right. So some of the floats are their parades, and some are floats, but some of them they borrowed from the Conde Cavaliers. They rented those. So you may have seen some of them before, but some of them are new. But they wanted to say, this is our 150th. We want to make this bigger than ever. And that's exactly what they are doing this year. They're making it almost as long as the MOTs. I think the MOTs is the biggest parade and probably has the biggest floats with the double-decker floats. And
yeah, we've got a lot of, the Stripers and the Crew of Columbus. They have long parades as well. So it's great to see, and the more floats, the better, right?
Absolutely.
You never have too many floats or bands or other entries in your parade.
That's right. So the parade has stopped here on Royal Street. We're not sure what the holdup is. You can't really tell ahead of us. It does look like there's an ambulance up by the Battle House.
So we could have had some sort of incident up there that's they've had to get the emergency vehicle in, and so they're going to hold up the parade while they take care of that incident. I know last night we had one of the riders on horseback was thrown from his horse and had to be taken off in an ambulance. We hope he's doing better today. And so we're not quite sure what has happened, but something's happened up around Royal Street and Dauphin.
Yeah, so right around, Peter, I guess that's between the Riverview and the Battle House. It looks like there is an ambulance, so we'll see what we can find out. And over the course of the Mardi Gras season, we've had a couple of revelers fall off floats. Happened in Fairhope, happened in Mobile. Everybody's okay, but things can happen. So we'll see if we can find out what's going on here. But the crowds don't seem to mind it because more for them.
Absolutely.
But we're looking at some of the cute little pages right there, and they don't probably know how to pace themselves, so they're probably going to throw all of their stuff right here in the beginning of the parade.
Not to mention throwing out their shoulders.
I know it.
In the parade route.
They have been such good sports. I've seen them at the coronation. I went to the coronation on Saturday night, and they were absolutely precious. One of the little boys at the end, though, was so tired, and he said, "Can I please just take off this wig? Can I take the wig off?" And his mom said, "Yes, you can. You've done a great job."
Only in Mobile does a 5-year-old ask that question.
Can I take my wig off?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
And so I really enjoyed the coronation. I mean, to see all of the work that goes into those beautiful trains, the hours of handmade, of hand-sewn garments, just, really exquisite. We have some really talented seamstresses here along the Gulf Coast. Miss Pat Richardson has done a lot of the MAMGA trains. Julia Greer-Phobes has done so many. Homer McClure. And their imagination just runs wild. And it's really fun to see.
You're going to look at a lot of the revelers here, the youngsters, getting the perch on Dad's shoulders to get a good view or get that little advantage you need to snag those beads and
That's
moon
right.
pies.
Okay, so this float that you're looking at was designed by Robinson McClure and built by the team at Mirth Company. So they always do a great job starting with a concept and then bringing it to life. It's always interesting to see the floats on paper and what they want them to look like, and then to actually see them come to life. That must be very satisfying for the artists who put in work all year round, because that work begins right after Fat Tuesday ends.
No, it's amazing. And really, a lot of times when you're at the parade, if you're catching throws, you're trying to get your moon pies and your beads, sometimes you don't get to see really the great detail and the creativity of a lot of these floats. And really, that's it's pretty amazing. Sometimes it's fun to go see where the floats are lined up and really get a good view of those floats as the maskers get on them. Again, if you're just joining us here, we've got a delay in our first parade of the afternoon. We did see an ambulance behind us here about 2 or 3 blocks on Royal Street, so there must have been some sort of medical emergency toward the beginning of the parade. We don't know if it involved someone in the parade or one of the spectators. That's what's holding things up, but I think we're finally starting to move here.
Yeah,
so we'll
it looks like we
rolling.
Yeah, it looks like we're moving again, which is good to see. Oh, wow.
Hey, please.
All right, everybody's excited. The parade is rolling again. They want to see all the floats. All right, so if you're just joining us, this is King Felix III Parade, rolling before the Knights of Revelry Parade. That's next. So we have been looking at King Felix, William Edward Slayton Jr., along with his queen, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth Wilborn Helmsing.
They look great. And I think we'll get to see the train, won't we, on the back, or trains typically? So maybe if we get a shot back down the street when they go by, we'll try to show you those trains as well.
Oh, that's my favorite part. And these trains are heavy. They talk about them weighing over 50 pounds each.
Oh, I believe it.